Here's the first thing that I don't know if you've ever tried before, but most students say they haven't, and that is you're going to be what I call a two-handed test taker, which sounds kind of strange. And that is that you're going to take your non-writing hand, which for most is their left, and you're going to take it and put it down on the test booklet, and you're going to cover up all of the choices for question number 1. Not like this. So you can look in there and all that. You may be tempted, but no peeking. This is a no peek method. You read the question, not looking at the choices at all, and then ask yourself a simple question, which is, what's the answer? What did my book say, or what did the teacher say? What do I have in here about that? Okay? When you do that, you're going to end up having one of 4 results. And this is going to sound really bad for a minute, so you just have to sort of bear with me on this. One of these results is good, and the other 3 are bad. And that doesn't look too good, but again, it gets better. Here's the first possible result, and this is the one you want all the time, but you don't get. You cover up the choices, you read the question, the answer pops in your head, you take your hand away, and there it is. And life is wonderful and all that, right? And I wish they were all like that, but they're not going to be. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to refer to these as the easy ones. They didn't take any time. They didn't take much effort or brain power. You just knew it right away, okay? The first bad result is pretty much guaranteed to happen to you at least every once in a while. It did to me. You cover up the choices. You read the question. The answer pops in your head. You take your hand away and, yeah, it's not there. And you keep looking, saying, I know for sure the answer is just not one of those. Well, that's not too good. What happened? I don't know. You got confused, you misread something, something went wrong somewhere. So these are the ones that I call the not there ones. And that's probably going to happen if you do this method again with the covering up at least a couple times when you go through the test. So the question is, what do you do if that happens? And the first, don't panic. Second, rather than going back and saying, I must have misread that and start over, it's a lot better for you to skip it and come back later. And I'll explain a little bit of why in a few minutes. Okay, now, if the test that you're taking that we're describing here is really easy and you're just sailing along toward an A, there's no sweat going, you're just fine. This is probably going to be the most common result that you get. But for most students on most tests, this is the moment of truth. How you do on these that I'm about to describe will determine whether you get a really good grade or not. So these are huge. What these are called, and I'll explain what this means in just a second, is the challenging ones. I always like this word better than hard or difficult because challenging sounds like you could do it. You just have to put a little effort in. And what does it look like when you experience this on the test? Here's how it works basically. You cover up the choices, you read the question. As you're reading it, you recognize what it's asking. You remember reading that in the book or hearing it in class, and you know it's in there, and this is your basic reaction. Oh, yeah, that's... What is that? That is... And you can't think of it. What do you want to do? Okay, but none of that, okay? Give it about 10 seconds of searching and trying to think, and if you can't come up with it, then skip those two. Okay? And then the fourth result, the worst one, is when you cover up the choices and you read the